A lot of people are happy, joyful, upset, worried, mad, and even doom posting about this announcement, Kaguya-sama Love is War Steps to Adulthood, that happened today. For those out of the loop and have no idea what's going on and you want context to why there's such a vast range of emotions that the anime community is currently feeling, let me explain. So earlier today, we had an official announcement that Kaguya-sama is getting another anime. However, with this announcement, there was something that was very peculiar, and that was the fact that it did not say Season 4. In fact, it just said, new TV special production confirmed, which is very odd, because that would mean that it's not necessarily a Season 4. You tie this in with the key visual, and there starts to be a little bit of red flags here and there popping up. I'll explain that more in just a second. The point is that it's very clear that the way it's written with this announcement, that it's not going to be a Season 4. It's going to be some form of special episode or even a movie release. And to be fair, we're in an age now to where a lot of series release movies as continuations. Hell, even Kaguya-sama has already done that. For those that don't know, back in 2022, the last content of the anime we got was a movie for Kaguya-sama that literally released back in 2022 of December. So this isn't foreign to Kaguya-sama doing a potential movie release, and this announcement theoretically could actually be that. However, just because it might be a movie or not, it could be a special episode. Maybe it's half an anime season, like it's going to be 4 or 6 episodes and not a full 13-episode series. That's something it potentially could be as well. However, the big thing that's causing a lot of people to be upset or worried and even doom posting about the situation is this key visual. Now, at first glance, if you're an anime only, you're going to look at this key visual, you're not going to really know what's going on here. You're going to be like, okay, it's just, yeah, there's one thing that stands out. Obviously, we have a few character designs, a character cut their hair and all that. That's the few things that stand out, but that's basically it. You're not going to think too much about it. However, for those that want to know, the last time content was adapted for Kaguya-sama's anime was chapter 151. I could be wrong, I could be off by a few chapters, but it was around like chapter 150. That was like the last content that was adapted into the anime. However, the design of Hayasaka here is from chapter 260 plus, which means that they're skipping 100 chapters. Like, the manga readers of the series right now, and Reddit, on Twitter, and all around the internet right now, are discussing this and saying this key visual is very odd, because you wouldn't do this key visual for an announcement of Season 4, you would do this key visual to announce that it's the end of the series. And so, with this announcement, it's leading a lot of people to believe that they're about to skip multiple arcs, over 100 chapters, to dive into the final segment of the manga for Kaguya-sama Love is War, which has led to a lot of the red flags and doom posting. And the reason why people have that feeling is because of Hayasaka's haircut. The entire design is literally reference to the final saga of Kaguya-sama. But the actual, new anime project being titled Steps to Adulthood is a direct reference to some of the stuff that happens in the final stretch of the manga as well. So there is only 2 directions, or actually there's 3 directions this can go. One direction is that they skip 100 chapters and they adapt the final arc of the manga, or the final chapters of the manga of Kaguya-sama. Not ideal, by any means. The second option is that this is going to be a filler of some kind. Possible, definitely possible, but unlikely. But it could be filler. The third option is that this is going to be a movie or a TV series, and it's going to adapt everything but compress it very quickly into a lot of content. For instance, we're going to speed run the content as quick as possible. They're going to compress 100 chapters in probably 12 or 10 or so episodes, which is also very concerning. So no matter which direction you go, the only great option here would theoretically be if this is anime original, and it is not adapting actual content from the manga. But that is very unlikely, judging by the name of the project, Steps to Adulthood, and then Hayasaka's design change. So, where do we go from here? Well, one thing I want to point out is that there is a lot of hatred people have for the finale of Kaguya-sama Love is War. For those that don't know, Akasaka is the writer of Kaguya-sama and also the writer of Oshi no Ko. And if you remember me covering Oshi no Ko, you know Akasaka is not typically good when it comes to endings. He kind of throws everything under the bus. And basically, Kaguya-sama was done in a very similar way first. Not to the same degree or disaster level that Oshinoko had, but a lot of fans agree that the ending of Kaguya-sama is just trash. A lot of people do. And so because of that, there is theories circulating around in the community right now, more or less like conspiracy theories, that the animators of Kaguya-sama decided to cut their losses and potentially just wrap up the series as quick as possible. If you don't know what I mean, basically, the reception, it was not good for Kaguya-sama's final arc, or at least final chapters. And knowing this, they probably don't want to have to deal with the descent, the gradual spiral of just crap, and they are worried that it could be damaging and they might not be able to sell the product as easy. So there is a theory right now within the community that they're adapting the final stretch of the series, not because it's really bad, but they just want to get Kaguya-sama over before they can move on to new projects and just get as much money as they can out of it, and also try to not ruin the property as best as they possibly can until people get to the ending. So overall, it's not good. It's looking a little bit scuffed right now. Like, this announcement is enjoyable, or it makes me happy to see more Kaguya-sama, but I'm also worried because of rushed content, cutting over 100 chapters, already a bad ending that potentially could be even worse if they decide to compress the ending down even more. There's just so much that this can go wrong. So, I have my fingers crossed that this is going to be anime original. I hope it is, but I'm probably wrong in that end. So yeah, I wanted to bring this to people's attention. There's a lot of people upset about this news. A lot of people are happy as well. But I wanted to inform the public on the situation at hand and to temper your expectations for Kaguya-sama's new anime project until we get more information about it. I'll leave it at that though. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.